Hello, everyone. Welcome to MWS Studios. This is your host, Stephen Hicks, the owner and founder of MWS Studios and creator of the Micro War series. Today, we have a very special guest, uh, Malcolm Smiley Cannon.
What's up? What's up? How everybody doing? I don't know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me out there?
I think they can. I think they can. Loud and
Uh,
clear, loud and clear. So I was gonna say, introduce yourself to the people, where you're from, who you're related to, where you're from, what you about, all that jazz.
well, we already got my name. I'm from New Jersey, Newark to be exact, and I am a comic book creator, writer. Um, yeah, so that's what I do. I mean, I do other things, but that's what I'm presenting today.
Mm,
Comics and writing comics and
okay,
creating comics.
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Look at you out here in your creative endeavors. So I got a few questions for you, man. I want to get down to the nitty gritty. We talk about creators, we talk about comic books. We just want to talk about the creative process in general. And I want to know, and the people want to know, how did you get started in the comic book industry?
I mean, well, that's a funny question due to the fact that I mean, one of my reasons is because of you. So, um, I mean, I've always liked comics, but I never was a person. I mean, I don't want to say I liked comics. I liked comic book characters that had their own cartoons, like
Hmm.
like the X-Men show, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I've always loved cartoons. I'm a big TV head.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, me too. Me
uh,
too.
yeah, word. So that's how, I mean, I guess that's what the passion always started from. I never knew that I'd be a writer. So I can't say that I was going to grow up to make comic books, but I always liked the cartoon aspect. So, I mean, as I got older, I got into the writing field.
Hmm.
I wrote a comic book idea and never
Hmm.
pursued it until, when I ran into you. And then that's when we had created your comic book together. I wrote your comic book for you, and
Yeah.
based off the notes that you gave me and the character that you gave me, and that's where it all started. I mean, and
Okay.
since then
Okay.
I've been doing them.
Okay. So let's give a little detail, little side story to like how did we meet? That's I think that's a good question to ask because people may want to know.
All right. Well, I mean that goes back to I want to say about 2000 and was it
18.
2018? I want to say I was about to
Yep.
say it's either 16 or 18,
It was 18.
and I was around the time when I was thinking about doing comics. I was getting out there looking at artists and stuff like that.
Yep.
I wouldn't say I was looking for comics. I wasn't looking toward doing for comics. I was looking for like art, just as like get my characters starting to get drawn and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to come across a artist named Tony, and Tony is a good artist. He had a few pictures up there that I was like, man, it's a good artist that I want to work with. But as I'm scrolling down, I come across your character.
Yep.
Excuse me. I come across your character. And I'm like, this is a dope character. Like, and I seen like the little capture.
Mm-hmm.
And when I reached out to him, he was a nice guy about it and everything. He went about it the right way. He said it wasn't my character. It's actually a guy named you. And they said the guy's struggling with a story at the moment. Maybe you should reach out to him. And I was like, that's good. And you know how the story goes. I reached out to you. I mean, you turned out to be a cool dude. Like you ain't even no attitude or nothing. Just we talked about it. And then that's what brought us to me offering to write it for free. I just wanted the credit. I mean,
Yep.
you already, I mean, it's hard talking about it since you're the person that you know the story. So it's like telling you the story again is just like weird and shit. Like, nigga, don't, I don't mean to say the N word, but like, bro, you know the story.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know the
but
story. It's just
I get what you said, but I'm gonna finish telling it how I remember it. So when I reached out to you, like I said, you was cool about it. You didn't give me no attitude. I actually can I write it for you for no charge. I just wanted to get my name out there. I was trying to become somebody as a writer with comic books at that time. So
Understood.
you gave me the opportunity. I pitched you my idea in 2 days. It took me 2 days to write this 24-page script,
Yo,
and you accepted it. I mean, we're here now, so it's my name is on that book. I mean, that it obviously went the way that you get what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
everything went according to plan, and
According to plan, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The universe
So
has spoken, you know.
yeah, so that's
and,
how
and
that happened.
and it's funny that you mentioned that too, like how we met on social media. Prior to that, I was working, like we met in 2018. That's literally when we met. Prior to that, back in 2017, me and my buddy Spud was, I told him I wanted to do something with comics, but I didn't take it serious. I was just messing around with it, coming up with characters, and me and him were going back and forth with different characters. Like I started off with Sneakers McGee, got him out the way because he was actually my first character. And
Mm-hmm.
I drew him up, showed him the spuds, like, hey, that's really cool. Let me try it out. Then I told him, I said, man, I'm trying out this female character and I can't get it right because I keep making her older and over sectionalized her. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. So we just kept going back and forth with different sketches. I showed him mine, he did his, and we went back and forth on that. And we finally came to one
Mm-hmm.
that we both enjoyed. I was like, you know what, bet I'm gonna take that and then I'm gonna get it redone digitally because everything was on paper. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do it. Like, even though I'm a digital artist, for some odd reason, I could not draw this character on the computer to save my life. So
Yeah.
I had reached out to Tony. Tony, uh, like, hey, can you do this character, draw her up digitally? He was like, yeah, I can do that, but do it in your own style. That's what I told him. I'm like, put your own spin to it.
That's why it look a little different than the original.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I told him to put his own spin to it, and that's how that's how you got introduced to Rashida. Now, I didn't try that with Snickers McGee. I didn't try that with Squeeze or my other characters because I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to try uh, a female character first because he was really good at making female anatomy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, bet let's
I think
and
that's how I ended up on his page too.
and that's how we met. Like you saw that picture, like, hey, this is dope. Because I already
Mm-hmm.
had technically I already written the story out, but when I looked at my notes and my index cards, I'm like, dang, it doesn't flow like a story. And
Mm-hmm.
when you inbox me like, hey, you need to write something, I was like, yeah, for sure. I'm all here for it. You took all my notes and everything that I had and came back to me in 2 days with a story. I'm like, word? And I ran with it. I was like, all right, cool. That's me on paper. Basically, it's like, yeah, I mean, I did my thing and I modified it, but you took my ideas and structured them to where I could follow along with the story. And I was impressed with that. I was like, that's cool. And we've been rocking together ever since. That is wild.
And
That's
now here you are with a brand.
with a brand, and I said I was going to do it too. That's crazy. I said I was going to do it, and now that I did it and accomplished it, it's a home run from here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you mentioned cartoon, so is that like what inspired you to create like the comic book itself? Like
No.
when outside of me, is what I'm saying, the cartoons and
What
everything.
made me write my very first comic book before I met you,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the script.
yeah,
I mean, I was trying to. I mean, now I come from writing. I like to write TV scripts and movie scripts.
yeah.
That's like my real passion. Like I always wanted to be into filming and stuff like that.
Mm,
But I wanted to test my skills and see if I can do other like formats of writing,
mm,
which is like comic books and stuff like that outside of just TV shows and movies. So
mm,
that's how, and plus, and then with the with the background of watching cartoons, I always want, like, if I'm going to do this, of course I want to see it turn into this. Like,
yeah,
so I just went for it. And
yeah.
I thought maybe I'll base it off my kid and me, and
Mm,
that's how I went and got the story that I got.
mm,
Because at that time, my first son was born. Like I feel like he kind of like sparked my creativity when he was born.
mm,
So I was so focused, I was so in love with my son that I had made my character look like my son.
mm.
And I didn't name him after my son at first. His name was Mark. It took a while for you to forget that his name was Mark once I changed it to Malcom.
Yeah, it
So
did.
yeah, I'm about to say it was Mark first. And I don't know why it was Mark. I just didn't want it to have my name. You feel what I'm saying? I knew I wanted to have him, but I just didn't want it to be my exact name. So I went with Mark.
Yeah.
And after Mark, as I started thinking about it more and more, when you kept coming to me like, yo, you really need to put that story out. And I'm just like, it's not, I don't feel like it's strong enough for me to put it out. You remember saying that when you
Yeah, I
kept telling me
did.
like, yo, you need to do your own thing now. Like you need to release that story you've been holding on to. And I'm just like, well, I need to make sure it's good. Like, and good thing that I've reconsidered some things because I would have hated myself if I'd have left the name as Mark.
Yeah, because the only reason I was like persistent, I won't say nagging you, but I was like persistent about it. And I'm like, you was talking to me. We were on the phone like for days at a time, hours at a time, talking about your project, your project, and you had scripts, you had ideas, and we was going back and forth, um, talking about the Book of Dreams, and it just
Mhm.
your world, your world and mindset that you have when it comes to this is amazing. I was like, you know what? Just publish it, make a book, put it out there. He's like, nah, it's not right. It's not to where I want it, man. It's not there. I was like, man, you gotta put it out. You got to, because if you don't put it out, it's gonna eat you alive. And you're gonna be back in the same spot where you was at before. And I was like, you know what? That's when I made Micro Wars, I made sure I put your name on it. Like to give you that push,
Mhm.
like push you through it. Like if I can do this with my ideas and my creativity with a little bit of help from other people and put out my ideas, you can put out yours too. And now look at you. You not only in all my books, first of all, like I told you, I was gonna put your name in it some form or fashion, whether it's an idea, you write a story, or you help me with something. I'm gonna give you some type of credit. And I stay
Mhm.
true to that. Not only that, you're on all my books. On top of that, I gave you actual credit. I went to copyright.gov, got the document signed and everything, and put your name on it. And from what you told me, no one's ever done that for you.
I never worked with anyone, so never had to be put in that position.
So
In
that's a that's
reality,
that's a first. So that's a
yeah, I
first.
never worked with anybody officially,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
I,
definitely believe in doing things
I appreciate that.
professionally. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I just believe in doing things the right way and being professional with it. Don't skip any steps. If you say you're gonna do something, you do it. If you can't do it right now, try to do it later. But when it comes to your goals and dreams, man, do whatever you can to like push through and get it out the way. Get it out the way.
I'm about to say shit. I mean, us coming together pushed both of us to get our dreams out there.
That is true,
I'm
because
about to say because I about to say you was sitting on something, and we was both sitting on something. You had notes, I had a story. You feel me?
yeah, true, true.
I'm about to
And
say
we
'cause my notes, my story was out since my story was written since 2013. So it's
yeah,
not like I didn't have it or I
yeah,
wasn't gonna go for it. I just wasn't. That's not the field that I was in. You feel me?
yeah,
I was into filming, like Chip and Dale been out since 2016. I was more focused on that type of stuff. Like I never pictured me doing comics.
yeah.
Now that I do them, I thought it was an easier route to get my point across. But in reality, you do comics, you do filming, it's always gonna cost you something.
Yeah, it
It
costs you
ain't
something.
no it ain't no cheaper route to it.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. You can't, no matter what route you take, you can't skip the process. That's just the reality of it. Um, and which leads to my next question. The creative process. Like, can you walk me through your creative process for developing like a new storyline, a character, or just a project in general
Hmm.
that you want to do?
Man, when I think about an idea, I think about a real situation.
Yeah,
Like I could probably go to work, right? Go do something at work. I may work at a warehouse or I may work at um doing like fixing cars or something.
yeah,
Now, I do this every day. this is a person's life that I'm living. Every job that I've done lived another person's life.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? Someone else is different. I'm like playing a different character now. I may have the same name, but in my imagination, I could change that.
right,
So I
right.
can take this element. Boom, I'm working at a warehouse. Maybe a package come through and a spill happened, and then now the spill caused a radiation, some type of radiation on my body, and now I got superpowers. Or me and a couple of my coworkers got superpowers. So idea could spark from about anything. I could be listening to a song, and the song might be so good, it's encouraging me to write something. It may
Mm,
not be about what's the song about,
right.
but it's causing some type of reaction in my mind to start writing.
Mm,
So I can't really say what my real creative, like what sparks it, because it's a lot of things that inspire me. Like I took, like for instance, the Book of Dreams
yeah.
is based upon my life. It has related things in my life that's inside that book. For instance, my son's name.
Hmm.
That's my son's name. Like my kids are in the book. My
Hmm.
my girlfriends are in the book. Like my friends are in the book. Like it's like it's revolving around my life.
Hmm.
So when freaks come out of the night, I like horror.
Hmm.
So I wrote a horror flick. I love zombies. So I wrote something about zombies or something like zombies. So many things inspired me to create an idea.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely with
So
that.
I don't really know how to answer that in
I mean, you
full.
answered it. You answered it pretty well. You use your life experience. That's
I
the
like
best.
I'm inspired by my life.
Your life, and it's nothing wrong with that. Like for me, my creative experience is I'm naturally creative anyway. Um, I just bring out that good old pen and pad and go to work. But I look at things too. I look at life. I look at things to escape life as well. Like I remember one time I had got on a bus and I pulled out my notepad and started. I think this was the same process that I created Havoc the Rabbit on, that
Hmm.
you created. Like you actually got the digital artwork done. I made the character profile. I was on the bus, put out my notepad, and I was just writing out character abilities, stories, the details, um, what I his personality, what I want him to do. It was just I just went crazy. All on a bus ride. Now, granted, I'm in Atlanta at the time. So my bus ride was a bit long.
Hmm.
So I would go from, I didn't have a car, so I had to get on a bus. I'll ride the bus for like an hour. Then I had to catch a train to another location, from the train to the another bus just to get to my destination. By that time, I had a full story, had a character development, everything. And that's how, honestly, how Havoc the Rabbit was created. Because you took
Hmm.
that and got them drawn up. I was like, you got all that from my from my profile?
Word.
That's crazy. So my creative profile is pretty extensive. I'm very detailed with it. And I don't think a lot of people can do that, but that's just my creative process. And then another thing that I like to do when it comes to my storytelling, I like to use pictures to tell stories. Like I use my walls or give me a whiteboard and I'll just put stuff on the wall like I'm making a grand plan or something and just tell my stories that way using stick figures or whatever pictures I can find and just print them out and put them on the wall. And then I implement my characters into that whole process, which
Hmm.
is wild. That's just my creative process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's everybody creative process is different. So
Yeah, this is
there's
true.
no wrong or right to it. I mean, as long as you're creating is all that really matters.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, create the things that you want to create. Um, I was gonna say, since you've been on this journey for since 2018, right? No, you've been
I
in it longer
mean,
than me.
I'm about to say it all depends on what you mean as far as my journey.
Okay, let's say as a creative, you're a creative, so not just comics.
Are we talking about? I was about to say, is we just talking about comics
Nah,
or are
nah.
we talking about like
We
overall?
what's going overall, like filming and comics, really. Ooh,
All right, well, if you want to say where it all started, me writing honestly started when I
yeah.
was in eighth grade, I want to say.
Okay.
I wrote a crazy story about my mom getting kidnapped and serial killed for some odd reason, and it spooked me out so much I didn't write no more.
Mm.
I can't see when you're a creator, a writer, or a real writer. And I don't want to say real writer because if you create, if you put, you can make one story, you're a writer. But if you're someone that just like got this talent that it's like, say if it's like a person with superpowers that can't control their superpowers, it's like that for me. Like I can't control what comes to mind, and if I feel like it's good, I'm gonna put it down on paper. I don't care how bad it is or how good it is. Like I'm put like I mean like I'm talking about like I don't care how dark it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like I will put it on paper because you never know what you can get out of it. I don't have to necessarily say that was my mom, but in my mind, this is what happened to my mom. Like so,
Okay. I mean,
but
I
that
can
started
understand
back
that.
in eighth grade. So then after that, when I stopped, I ain't do it again until I got to like probably like sophomore year of high school where I
Yep.
started running into picture prompts more.
Yep.
And picture prompts excite me because it's like there's pictures in front of me and your teacher goes slamming on the desk and be like, make me a story. You like, dang, off of a shoe? Like it's only a shoe in the picture. Like, what I'm gonna do with this shoe?
You're
Now
right.
I'm up here trying to figure out where this shoe comes from. So now it gets interesting creating a story around just a still shot. Like
Makes sense. So
that's where it all started.
I was gonna say, now that we had got you started and you've been doing it for some time, like I honestly say you're a veteran at this writing thing. Um, what is the biggest challenge you faced in your creative career so far?
Working with a team so far.
Mm,
Like what all right, so when you say the challenges, I mean like is it can I say financial? Because financial is
that
always gonna be
that
the
can
challenge as an
that can be,
independent
yeah,
creator.
that's a challenge.
But I think everybody has that one challenge when they're coming out by themselves and independently. So
Mm,
that's why I try not to lean toward that one so much because I know
yeah.
that's the common one, money.
Mm,
Um, but working with others is one of my challenges due to
mm,
the fact of when I say an idea, I don't know if other writers feel like this or it's just me, but
mm,
I'm like an artist, like as far as a rapper or a songwriter, because I'm conceited about my work. Like you can offend me
mm,
if you don't like what I just put down on paper, kind of like if I lay it down, that shit is perfect.
mm,
And I want you to accept it like that. But I'm an open minded person, so I know that things need to be critiqued and things need to be added and subtracted so that things can come out a little bit better. So I'm open minded for it.
mm.
It's just that how I feel about it right away is like, goddamn, nigga. I mean, and sorry about the,
Oh, you good? You good?
sorry,
We
like,
being
damn,
honest.
my shit wasn't good enough for you. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like that. But like as time went on, I got to learn how to work with others, and it's turned out better. Still learning, but it definitely was one of my challenges was working with others
Okay. Okay. I definitely
and
understand.
communication with that, like with working with others. Sometimes
Communication.
communication can be off.
Okay. Communicating with other people. Do you think that's something you can improve on over time?
I just stated that I have improved, so
Oh, okay. My
I mean
bad. My
that it's obviously happening.
bad.
Yeah, so I didn't say communicating with others. I'm saying like as far as when it comes to working in a group,
Yeah.
the communication could sometimes be miscommunicated.
Okay. So
So I
so
don't I don't I don't want that to be mistaken with communicating with others like on an overall basis. Like
makes sense. So okay, okay. That makes good. That makes good sense. So now you got all this experience and you've been doing this for some time. Like now I want to know, but also I believe the people should know, like what is a particular moment or project that you're really proud of?
I mean, I'm proud of all my work.
Mhm.
I mean, not like seriously, like. I feel like everything right now is at an equal base due to the fact nothing is finished yet.
Mm,
Until I finish writing pieces,
yes.
then I could say like fully like which one I take more pride in because but then honestly, I think I still take pride in all of it and shit because I had the courage to do it.
Mm,
Like it's not easy getting past that step sometimes. So
yeah.
it's like for you to sit there and believe in it and actually take that step and forth to go towards the meeting that through to through,
Yeah.
I think you should be proud of anything that you walk through.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. No one should tell you otherwise. That's a good model to have. That is a
Or
that's a good model to have. Um, so now that we really talked about some stuff. Like we really did. And but on a professional tip, now that you're in the industry like heavy now, um, how do you see the comic book industry evolving? Like specifically for like independent creators, like how do you see it now that you've been on the ground floor for some time and you seeing all these different artists coming out the gate? How do you see it changing?
I it's hard sometimes that you gotta watch your mouth on things when you say things because it could be taken the wrong way, and people got their own opinions. So I wouldn't want nobody to think that I'm stupid or wrong for what I got
Hey,
to
hey,
say.
your
But
opinion, your opinion is your
but
opinion.
yeah, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, but I need to make that clear because some people really take what somebody's saying, but like, they're not making sense because they're not agreeing with us. Like, no, I think it's gonna crash. I mean, it's trending like as if it's like you thought and stuff like that. Like when people say
Mm,
things that's trendy and stuff like, oh, outfits is trendy or style is trendy, like comics became a trend,
mm.
like as if it's a style, like it became a lifestyle now. Like,
So this is a concern for you.
I mean, never a concern for me because the writing is my passion, so I can go anywhere with that talent.
Okay, okay.
I'm not just a comic book teller, like
Gotcha.
a comic book storyteller. You feel me? Like I before this, I was already into other shit with storytelling.
Yeah.
So I don't feel it as a threat. I'm just concerned for the fact that it finally got the shine that it needed
Yeah.
because comics always been like an understone.
Yeah.
So it finally got that shine that it needed, but I feel like it's like not the right type of shine that it needed and shit.
Gotcha.
Like I like the fact that people spending their money on it, and their companies are rising, they making their money off of this, and people starting to see these things, and it's just not just us boys who see it. We got girls that's out here seeing it, but
Yeah.
it just feels funny and odd to me, like because it's like why y'all wasn't been watching this? I've been telling you this shit was cool, like
Hey, it comes in phases, so I do understand. I
yeah,
get it.
true.
So I was gonna say, any thoughts, any thoughts or advice for upcoming creators, specifically comic creators, like that want to get into it since you've been in it for some time, and like I said, I consider you a veteran now that you've been doing it. You have some input. So
I
what
don't
if
think I'm a veteran. I had to disagree with you on that one, Steve. I'm sorry there.
I mean,
But
just as a
I get
writer,
what you mean, like
yeah.
time wise, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm still a rookie too because I'm still learning. It's things that I learn every day,
Hmm,
and me and you go back and forth with passing information through each other all the time when we learn something new.
true,
So
true.
there's no vet in this shit. I mean, I guess unless to put like 30 years in it, like because
True,
comics
true.
could take forever. Like I feel like we still like at the tip of the iceberg. Like this is like a grain of salt
Yeah.
compared to the whole bag. Like this is the beginning still. I feel like I'm still a teenager with it. Like you get what I'm
Mm,
saying? I'm still growing into it. So, but the advice that I will always give, and it goes for anything. It don't even have to be comics, but since we're talking about comics, let's make it sound like it's all about comics.
all right.
Consistency is always going to be key.
Talk to
Anything
him.
you do, consistency is key. Whether you're making merchandise, whether you're making a book, whether you're making cartoons, you're
Yep.
making music footage, like whatever you're doing with it, consistency, because once the customers get too much of a break, they gonna find themselves somewhere else.
Mm,
You understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
some
yeah,
things, some things can get there and then make their way back. Like take that break. Like I feel like Bleach is one of those things and shit. Like niggas, y'all been waiting for Bleach for like 30 years. I'm a grown ass man, and Bleach was out when I was a kid. They ain't never came back on since then, and niggas still like, yo, you see the period for that movie that's come, they coming in 2050. We gonna
yeah,
watch the new, yeah. So it's like some things can, but then you got stuff like other cartoons that try to make it come back, and then this be like, why they trying? Like,
yeah.
turn it off. Like, you're killing our eyes with it.
You had your time.
You had your time. You had your 15 minutes of fame, and you decided to take a break, and now you can't come back from it.
Okay,
So,
okay.
it's like mystical. You know, you go to jail, you come back, you can't come back.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
So,
you try to make an album, it ain't work.
so have you had any last question of the night? Have you had any funny comic book stories like you have in your journey that you met with people or heard from people or try to sell something or any interaction like that?
What you mean funny? I mean, give me an example of what you heard, and then I'll probably tell you something what I've heard.
Oh, okay, cool. One time we was having a conversation and we was having a conversation on the phone and I was in the Uber once.
Uh,
So that you tell me about that. Like tell me
Yeah,
that
you talking
experience.
about when you was selling your Uber and I mean selling your comic books in the Uber.
Yeah, well
You can
apparently that
sell you
that
can
was
sell
just
anything anywhere.
apparently that was so funny to you. And I was like, why is he laughing? I was just in the Uber.
I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I was just trying to see why was that so funny to you because I was just in the Uber.
Yeah, yeah, that was just funny. The fact that you really sold that book to the driver, and he was like so determined with it too, like and passionate about it.
Mm,
But she had no choice but to take it as a good salesman.
that's crazy because
So
I was actually just talking to you because we was talking about the next project and she overheard what we was talking about because I was in the back
yeah.
seat and I didn't sell her. And she just sold herself on the conversation we was having. And I ended up selling the book. So it's funny that that came full circle. Um,
Yeah.
so I was gonna say, where can the people find you at, man?
I'm about to say apartment6comics.com. That's apt6comics.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram. You know, me and the gang on Instagram. It's apt underscore six underscore comics. Um, I think that's about it. I mean, I'm on Amazon. I mean, you can look up the Book of Dreams on Amazon. So
Uh,
that's about
that's
That's a,
awesome, man.
oh, there goes some art right here. I wish I could share with y'all. I don't know, it didn't come through yet. Okay, I thought it was the new cover for issue 12.
Sneak peek.
And nah, it didn't come through, not yet. I guess a little later.
Okay, okay. Well, all right, guys. To your listeners out there, this has been our show. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Check out our merchandise and books at mwstudios.com. Please like all our pages at Facebook, MWS Studios, Instagram, MWS Studios 33. We love y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, y'all. Nice meeting y'all.
And we out of there.
Hey you guys, Rashida here. You don't know me, but I want to get to know you. Would you like to know my story? See how I go through trial and error to become a great Hadori? Alongside Sneakers McGee and Squeezy in the world of micro wars. Fight the good fight. See different perspectives on what it's really like when teenagers get access to superpowers. And no story is complete without the evil Mr. Slim trying to take over our cities. Would you like to join us on our journey? If so, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to us on Facebook and Instagram, Micro Wars. And if you want to cop some fresh merch or even the latest comic, make sure you visit www.mwstudios.com. And don't forget about our webtoon series as well. We can't wait to meet you guys on the inside. Catch you later.